Summertime can get very chaotic. Very. You have all these plans. People have their own. You're trying to plan events, even a couple of surprises. We're going to unpack one of them. We're going to unpack self-care. And Jeffrey's probably going to lean into a little bit about why he does not like surprises, but we're going to talk about one that happened to him this past weekend. Hello, my homies. Welcome back to another episode of the Please Do Tell podcast. I'm your homegirl, Ronnika, and I am here with...
Oh, it's me. It's Jeffrey, and I am present.
Present for sure. Jeffrey, how are you? How you feeling?
I'm doing well. Yourself?
Good. It feels like forever since I saw you.
Please get out of here. Look, everybody, as she was just, as Ronnika was just mentioning about surprises. If you know me, you know I'm not a big surprise fan, but lo and behold, we surely saw a surprise in the making from Ronnika this past.
If you don't lean into that mic,
if I get any closer, I'm gonna be sitting right on the mic.
That's what we need.
You couldn't hear me?
No, it was a little faint.
My goodness.
Okay.
Yeah, my little mic situation had to do a little remodeling around in the studio, as you can see. But yeah. But yeah, Ronnika knows I don't like surprises, but boy, did she get me this past week. Jeez, look, everybody, I walk in the house walking fast because I know that we have to record on Thursday night, and I turn around the corner and it's Ronnika with her camera phone up. Look, I'm gonna be an old person with her camera phone up, just a recording.
And it was perfect because one of Jeffrey's favorite series is Martin, and if you know, you know. Barnell Hill, did you miss me? So that's exactly what I said when he came around that corner.
It's true.
Y'all,
that is true.
When I tell you sweating bullets, worried about if the surprise is going to be ruined, it was so many times that I wanted to just tell him, like, I'm going to be there tomorrow. I'm going to be there Thursday. Jeffrey was here for his 25th class reunion. And when he was at my house, I wanted to say so bad, I'll see you in a few weeks. I'll see you in a few weeks.
That is too much.
In a few weeks. And so that's why Jeffrey was saying like his setup is a little, he's just trying to get his setup back because we had to move the whole podcast studio from the room to the living room. So if you have how many days? You'll have less than 30 days to watch the If You Know, You Know Late Night Show on Facebook before it's transferred to YouTube. So if you follow Jeffrey or even myself on Facebook, you'll be able to see it because we're in the same room checking it up. But okay, y'all.
The same studio desk.
The same studio. So let's see, how did I even set this up? I took the time off work. I finally told the heartbeats what I was doing. My mom been new, like she been new. But this is why I did the surprise, and I didn't even tell Jeffrey this, is that my friends know that I'm a great listener. Sometimes I may forget stuff, like forget key parts, but I listen to when my friends say that they need or want something. And Jeffrey was saying like, oh, ain't nobody came to visit me in New York, man. Ain't nobody came to see me. I was like, okay, check. Then it's just so happened Jeffrey had called me. It was one of those days it was like raining really, 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 really hard. And he quoted a scene from favorite movie of all time, Coming to America. And it was in that moment, it was like, I feel good about the surprise. I don't even give a damn if you don't like him. I don't care. I would just take that. I would just take it like a G if he gets upset. But I feel like he won't get upset because this is a good surprise. You know, we love a good surprise. And I don't know if I asked you on the podcast or we were like live or just talking to one another or just FaceTime, because I asked him, I said, why don't you like surprises? And that's what you said when I came in. He said, that's why you asked Why don't I like surprises? I get it now. I get it
Yeah.
now. That's why I asked.
She was stitching it together, y'all, like, real deal stitching it together, asking me certain questions, had people asking me certain questions. So, but I was in, it's summer, I call
Mhm.
it the money summer. So it's, you're in your own world, you grinding out. And just like I was in my own world grinding out, I come around the corner and surprise.
Surprise, surprise, surprise. And so when we did the late night show, people were saying, wait, is my eyes playing tricks on me? Are they in the same room? Yes, we're in the same room. Chucking it up.
No split screen tonight.
No split screen tonight. But I think the only thing is when I was going back watching the episode, because it was some great segments in there. Even the one that we did with Jeffrey's classmate, or the when we were interacting with Jeffrey's classmate Chastity, is that Jeffrey did a good job of looking at me a lot. I was doing a lot of side eyeing because I was too busy trying to look at the comments. Because that's usually what I do in the late night show. I'm looking at the comments because we do Zoom. We cast it to Facebook. So I'm looking at the comments, all of that. But Jeffrey was doing a good job of, and I was over here like, yeah, okay, so yeah, uh-huh. And then, okay, listen, when we talk about even self care in this episode, that was, and I know Jeffrey's gonna be like, chill out. That was one of the episodes I went back and looked at. It was like, ooh, Ronnika, you did get a little fluffy. So that was just okay. I know you're shaking your head, but for myself, I said, okay, I know that the walking is helping me, but I just have to do a lot more of it. I have to be more intentional with it. So I said, I ain't in New York, so I can't be just walking to and from like
Yeah,
you do. So
understood.
I, but I always have that reset or that self care. And that's another reason why I was like, man, this feels really good because the last time I was in New York is when I had that conversation with my doctor. It was like, hey, you got to get it together. So I was even in that moment saying it to myself, like, okay, we're back here. We're back in New York. This is your reset. And it's a new week. So get it together.
Come on, new
It's going to be
season.
just fine. New season. A new season.
Or a new seasoning.
Ooh.
Mhm,
Mm.
mm.
And I will say one thing about Jefferson. So this is another thing about when you go to visit him. And all people are like, oh, what restaurants did you try? Where, where'd you go? Excuse me. Jeffrey likes to cook like every day. Jeffrey cooks. So you don't really need the restaurant. Now, do I get a little bratty and be like, "Ugh, I do want to have something from somewhere else. Like I do want to just order in or something. But Jeffrey will these gourmet meals every day.
Look, we just gotta eat.
I'm just saying, because I even thought about listen, when I went to the airport, I was so self-conscious because I was like, I heard my dad clearly in my head. Oh, I think you smell like House of Toast. I think you smell like fried chicken.
Now you smell like fried.
At like midnight. It was so good. But I definitely thought like, "Whew, this is like home. This is really like home." Jeffrey really thought that I had just moved to New York and I didn't tell him. That would have been a whole nother surprise. A whole nother surprise. We done lost him. I see it didn't get so good to him, we done lost him. But you on this episode, we're going to talk about summer energy, a little bit of self-care. Um, are you all a lot of people have been doing family reunions. Are you doing one? I know we talk about it here and there, but we're seeing them pick back up and it's a beautiful thing. It's a beautiful thing. So I'm excited about that. And just also to prepare you that the next episode that we're launching for Please Do Tell is the 6th anniversary. Lean in. The 6th anniversary of Please Do Tell. Like we've been doing it for 6 years.
Doom.
I was just telling the people that the next episode of Please Do Tell will be the 6th anniversary of the launch of Please Do Tell, and we're gonna lean into Jeffrey he's learned and what he's liked and what he's like. Ooh, I would probably change this about it. That's gonna be on the next episode. So I was just giving them a rundown of what we're just gonna talk about this episode, and then what to expect for the next.
Thank you, thank you. I lost a good old connection right there.
It's okay. And it was funny how you just kind of I said, "Oh, it got so good to me, disappear." That was his surprise, surprise,
Yeah,
surprise.
that's crazy. No, all of a sudden it was like, oh, it's uploaded now. I'm like, upload.
Yeah.
Let
Hello.
me let me let me let me minimize and
Let me
reload.
just go out and come back here.
Yeah,
Do a little X,
yeah.
re-enter. Okay, Jeffrey, we're gonna run down to millennial self-care. Yes, millennial self-care.
All right. Millennial shelf care.
Or maybe we should do the passing the torch what we owe the next generation? It's up to you. What we owe the next generation or they're back, because I was kinda talking about how even this past weekend, I know quite a few people that went to family reunions.
Well, I mean, you just had a family reunion when you just popped into New York, so
Sure.
I'm all in. I'm all in.
Okay,
So
let's
5 is
do that. Let's do the family reunion, which is segment 4.
okay.
So they're back. And when I say people been going down south from Michigan and from just other parts of the country, heading back south, like they're going back to their roots for these family reunions, it's been really, really cool. Both and I believe the people that I know, they all did road trips. Like they didn't even fly. They did the good old fashioned road
Road trip.
trips.
Wow. Wow, it's
Road
nothing like a road
tripping.
trip. Nothing like a road trip, boy.
Nothing like it. So we know that during the pandemic, there was a lot of changes with the reunion, so it's really good to see them coming back. So, Jeffrey, just talking about what the cookout and reunions actually look like being a Black cultural institution, the history, the meaning, the specific way it operates. Um,
Well,
what would you go ahead.
I'm sorry. What'd you say?
No, go ahead. That was like actually the end of what I was gonna say.
I mean, when I think of, the Black, family reunion experience, food, family, uh, festivities, I just think of those 3 F's immediately. Because if you don't have the food, correct, then, you know, you gotta have somebody's dish that everybody knows or what they're known for. That person has to cook or, I've been around long enough that that person says, "Well, I'm not cooking all that food." And so then they'll like help others in the family like learn the tradition.
Mhm.
But it's kind of like with family reunions, I like them because it's not just one person in the family. They kinda, like, lead it they may lead it, like, in the organization, but the day of, you got somebody that's really in charge of the food, you got somebody that's in charge of the game, somebody in charge of the kids, somebody in charge of the alcohol, you got people just take certain job like, "Hey, I'm going to get the ice. You want some
Yeah,
ice?"
yeah.
One of those. "How much ice
Yeah,
we need?" So it's
yeah.
like a lot of camaraderie 'cause it's family, you know what I'm saying? And then you always get I don't give a damn, I know a lot of, people get upset, you get around your family, "Oh, it's so good to see you," start going down memory lane, but keep me up on those memory lane memories because I like to have that conversation with family as if, you in a movie talking to them and, you're giving them the whole script, why I respect you, how you're impacting life. I mean, those conversations are important. And
Mhm.
we do a lot of that with people at work, or we do a lot of that with, people in our community, but we don't do enough of it with our own, flesh and blood.
Ooh, that's so true. Now, I will say this because we had this conversation. So shout out to Miss Bertha. She's actually been on the podcast a couple times. She went down south for one of her family reunions, and uh, it's okay. So I would be I think I've been transparent. I'm always trying to be transparent with y'all. On my job, there's 2 blacks. One is a boomer, one is a millennial. You know which one I fall in? So, when Miss Bertha was visiting, which Miss Bertha is one of our, loyal volunteers, she came and said that she was going to the reunion, and me and Denise, who was the other black person in the job, and because everybody else is white. And I'm saying this because this is leading into what I'm saying. Denise said, "Well, do white people do family reunion t-shirts?" What I said, hollering, hollering. And one of my teammates was like, "We do them." And then she said, "I ain't never seen nobody walking around with no family reunion t-shirts." I said, "You know you will say whatever, whenever, don't care." She said, "I am of an age I can." I can say these things. But then I got to really thinking that family reunions, is that really, I feel like we just took ownership of that. Like, that's our thing. That is what we do. Is it hard to plan and get together and do all that? Yeah, but once you do it, it's like, man, I'm so glad that we got together and we did that. Because as Jeffrey said, it's like so many of those stories we lose. So I'm always in the elder's face, like, okay, so tell me about how you got here, or tell me how we related to that side, or what's this branch of the tree, or where did they come from? What did they do? Or my sister's really big on not just the medical history when she's around family, but she's also like the professions, because she said she always wondered where this professions of like, why does she want to be an educator? And she learned on our dad's side, that the Stills are educators.
Wow.
Most of the women were educators. So even when I went to visit, bless you. Even when I went to visit Alabama, and I know I've told a piece of the story before. I had an Uber driver, and older gentleman around the same age as my dad, Vietnam vet, and he had relocated from Alabama to Michigan and moved back. So um he did a reverse migration. So he went back home, and he said he was asking me, they'd spark up a little conversation. And I told him why I was there, and one of my family members was his teacher.
Wow.
So
Wow.
I was just like,
Now that's small
what?
world.
Like, he was like, "Yeah, because they stayed over in such and such, neighborhood." I said, "Yeah." He said, "Yeah." Yeah, it was one of my teachers. He said, he said, "Yeah, I lived in Michigan for a little bit." He said, "I worked in the automotive industry." I was like, "Oh my gosh, it's like talking to my dad." So that's why I said it's so important to have these conversations, with our elders, at these family reunions, or even outside of these family. Just pick up the phone and just call somebody and get some information.
Mhm.
Get a story or 2. 'Cause they be
Well,
ready to tell it.
you gotta remember, like, our experience is totally different. A
Mhm,
lot of our, from the slavery standpoint of America. The reason why we do family reunions is because, when your people have been sold and bought across this country, you would
mhm.
try to use reunions to reunite,
Reconnect, yeah.
because you could said such and such could be anywhere. They could be Virginia, Louisiana, Texas. They could be anywhere, and you
Mhm.
would hope that they would get messages around. For Black people, it's always been important that word of mouth. Because we don't control and still do not control when it comes to communication. Yeah, it's crazy. So reunions
Crazy.
are and they're big, they're important.
They're
And I
big.
remember as a kid, I didn't, as you get older, when you get, like, in your middle school and stuff, you be like, I'm over all of this, because a lot of it is a lot of formalities, and I remember during a period of time when you have, like, family reunions, it's also a time where elders would kinda, like, show their rank, and that can create some foul conversations, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
If you're
yeah.
not raised properly, because they wanna show off the talent. I've been there before where, my grandma would do and say and move certain ways in church and in the streets that I'm not saying that she was soft, but she didn't do that when we were at the crib. but she would make sure that she would make sure that it would be shown by my character and by my movement that it was taught in the crib. So,
Mm.
a lot of times, once you hit like middle school, high school, or early 20s, you don't want to, be a part of that because you like this, this hierarchy system, blah, blah, blah. But realistically, I was glad that I did, I got an opportunity to participate because when you talk to people that didn't really go to, like, family reunions, or they just don't know a lot about their family
Ooh.
history, or just, like, their upbringing or their community, they're just, like, totally detached from it. So,
Mhm.
I'm glad that that it was instilled in me to learn about your people.
Absolutely. I think I was in ninth grade, and my last great grandparent, my mom's granddad, um, my mom's maternal grandfather, and still in his right mind, able to just, and it's almost like he was just looking around the room. He was 90. He was looking around the room like, this came from me. This huge gathering came from me, a man that was the son of a slave owner.
Yeah, yeah.
Like
This
it's
I built
crazy.
this.
Yeah, like this is me. This is me. And to have family members really break down our family history, like literally going down like from generations, going back to slavery, like this is who this person is, this is who. And being in ninth grade, just sitting there like, wow, this is amazing. I wonder if we can do that with the other side of my family. And that's another reason why I started to research my dad's side, because we didn't have that. It was so many secrets, or it was so many, I'm not sure, unknowns. But with my mama's side, it was like, we still got him here in his right mind. We finna write down, record as much as we can. So, that's another reason why I think that reunions are just gems. It's just, especially if they're still able to communicate and tell you some things, get it together. Do it.
Mhm. Absolutely.
Record them, even if you have to, like, record them today. Record them.
'Cause you're gonna want those conversations, and, like, it could be even something small where they're talking about, them going to the doctor, and then here it is 25 years later, you're like, "Okay, well, now I understand why I was a type 2 diabetic."
Yes, 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 yes. Woo. So the next segment, we're talking about passing the torch, what we owe the next generation. And so the last two family reunions that we've had, so the one that was in Detroit, this is still on my mom's side, my maternal grandmother's side. We had one of those that was in 22. Yeah, that was in 2022. And that was our generation planning it, which was like, it was stressful because the elders, the boomers, weren't having it. Why you want to do this? Why you want? It's like, whew, do you want us to show up?
Mm, 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 mm.
Like, we're being respectful, but do you want us to show up? So we did have our cousin Pam. Shout out to my cousin Pam. She is Gen X, and she was standing in the gap between us, like, hey, I am supporting them. We didn't do, when I say we were doing fundraisers to make sure we had food, they didn't have to pay for food. We were trying to keep down the cost. We had a whole full weekend. We made it a thing. We made it a function. But it was very hard to break away from the ideals of the previous generations. And I know that sometimes there can be a disconnect, or there can be a communication breakdown, but I'm also looking at it as though, because when I said we planned the one in 22, and then we just had one last year in Ben Harbor, Michigan, for the same side of the family. And so the family from Detroit were able to come down, and we were all in the park. And we had one elder say, you know what? We got a mic and everything here. We want all the young people to go up there on the mic and say who they belong to. because a lot
Yeah,
of the
say
kids
who they
didn't have.
belong to.
Yeah, and they were like, "Who you belong to?" I said, "Oh, okay, my mom is Mildred." So, I think doing more of that because I noticed even with the younger generation, um, the Gen Zers that are or even Generation Alphas for some of them, is that they don't have a connection to family because, one, they could have had, a parent or grandparent that died young, so they don't know how to really, "Okay, I'm not sure who my family is," 'cause that's actually the case for a couple of my cousins. One of my cousins was, murdered about was it 10 years ago? 11 years ago. And he left behind a lot of kids, about 7 of them. So, a
Damn.
lot of them were like, "I don't know who my family is." For one of them, she was volunteering at, the senior center, and my mom was there. She's literally standing next to her great aunt. Had no clue. Had no clue. 'Cause she said, "Yeah, I wanna do more family things," and I said and I remember they had posted the volunteer, opportunity on Facebook. I said, "You're standing next to my mama, your great aunt." And
And you
then
don't
that's
even
when
know.
it didn't even know it, like, you're literally holding her in this photo, and you had no idea. So that was also the push for us to have one locally in Ben Harbor, Michigan, where we're where I'm from. And having those young people actually say like, "Wow, okay, so that's my grandmother's brother? That's my grandma's sister? That's my great-grandma's sister? Wow, that's my granddaddy's sister?" So, I mean, when I say what are we passing the torch, what are we showing the next generation is to keep that line of communication open and know your people. I even get it sometimes today. I know when we just had, one of my little cousins graduated from high school, and we had family coming down from Detroit, and one of them walked up to me, she was like, "Okay, so I feel so terrible. I don't know who you are." I was like, "Mildred's my mom." "Okay, okay, okay, I got it, I got it, I got it,
Mm-mm. And it's
I got
nothing
it."
like when you match it up.
Mhm, mhm,
You're like,
mhm.
"What?"
Exactly, exactly. So, what are some things that you even think would, like, what what do you think you can pass down to the next generation when it comes to when we talk about passing the torch? What does that look like for you?
Well, I would say that was passed down to me that I would like to pass down to the next generation is that we're at you know a man that do not work shall not eat.
What?
Get up and off your feet. Ain't no time to you know the rest. So it's time for you to get up and get off the bus.
Mhm,
You know what I'm saying? So
mhm,
it's one of those things where you definitely have to work, and then you could be proud of it. Be proud of the work, and you don't have to be proud to anybody per se other than yourself.
mm.
So, yeah, I'm all about the work. I really like it. I like to work.
We
It's
know.
fun. It's
I was
fun.
just
So
there. We know.
right, right, right. Look, you popped in and I still, hey, we're gonna work. I think I worked 2 of the 3 days.
Yes.
Yeah, 2 of the 3 days. And I actually could have worked the 3rd, but, you know, even Jesus had to take a nap, you know? So, but yeah, that's what I wanna
Oh,
pass down. And then I guess this new one, that I guess both of mine are like self-stability. The new one would be the cook. I don't mind like
mm,
how to cook,
mm.
'cause I'm on everybody about this cooking,
Yeah, you are.
specifically my female friends. I am on them about their cooking, because I remember I get that from my grandma, so that's why I'm hard on y'all. But, definitely being able to, like, try to cook, or being able to have a basic 6, 7 meals. You can rearrange them.
Oh,
It
you're
could
right,
go
yeah.
from it could
Mhm.
go from garlic and herb chicken to lemon and herb chicken. You know what I'm saying? All you do is just change the season, it's still chicken, so just come up with a little bit different meals, just to spice it up. So that would be my 2. Work and then provide a meal for yourself.
Okay, so I because I know that was a little shade towards me, just a little. Because
It wasn't. It wasn't no shade toward you. It was shade toward all of my female friends. It was, no. Don't take it away from nobody. Give it to them all.
felt the shots like. I will tell you this. I can prep the food. I can season all of that. I can do all of that. I can. I want to eliminate that fear of barbecuing. I really want to learn how to barbecue.
Barbecue is you just got to get them coals. You get them white, you're in right. You know, it's just a few things with the barbecue: the coals and being able to control your temperature because it's a stove. Like it's a stove, you know. So just imagine how our ancestors used to cook on that stove. They ain't have no no gauges on it, you know, and it was a hot coal stove. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, you just have to. It's take your time. I tell you one thing: you can continue to cook food, but you cannot undo burnt food. So
Thank you.
unless you like Cajun.
Because Cajun jerk and all, that's totally
Yeah.
different from burnt. I
Right,
don't want
right,
burnt.
right,
We don't
right.
want it charred. Or as my dad said, I'm finna go out here and get my Emerald Lagasse on. And then you bite into it. I said, so you didn't want me to like season this because this shit is salty. He said, yeah, I got a little heavy. But you got a little heavy. So yeah, okay. That was a mic drop right there because the cooking, because that was gonna be my question of what are you passing down. So when we talk about what we're learning and what we're unlearning from our elders, is self-care. Millennials are the self-care generation. I know Jeffrey will even say, yeah, use that PTO. Yeah, go on and do that. Go on and do that. I know my friends are really big on it because listen, it just popped in my head because boomers, for the boomers that listen, lean in. I don't know how y'all be having 200 hours of PTO. I don't know. I can barely keep 20. I just be like, ooh, I ain't feeling this today. Like, I ain't feeling it. So either you work from home or you're just gonna take a day. And I don't always do them. Like I feel like even sometimes the month will go by, I'm like, dang.
You said you're gonna get one this month.
Yeah, I'm gonna get one. Cause I was like, New York is gonna happen. Jeffrey said I need to feel the energy of the New York Knicks. I need to feel the energy of just being in New York. I felt that energy. It was great.
Come
We
on
was
now.
saw celebrity, Vanessa Williams, not the beauty queen, the one from the series Soul Food. And Rockabye Baby. If you know, you know. If you know New Jack City. Just saying. Just saying. So I believe in self-care. My self-care is get into the eyebrows, y'all. I love me some Ash Does Brows in Chicago. I've been going to her since Chantel's wedding, 2019.
Wow.
October 2019. I know Jeffrey can even identify with going over to Chicago from Ben Harbor for your self-care days or for your days. It's like, hey, I'm finna go to the barbershop. I'm finna get my locks retwisted, whatever that looks like.
I used
That's
to do that from Kalamazoo. 2 hours.
see?
2
Crazy.
hours. Yeah.
Crazy.
It's almost easier just to fly there.
I mean, there is probably a route, I'm sure.
Yeah, old Kalamazoo.
But I love being in the energy of, because most of the people that are in these, because I think it's called Lacuna Lost. It's the same building as, if you're familiar with Black Ink Crew Chicago. So there was a Black Ink Crew New York, which is the original, Black Ink Crew, but then they extended it to Chicago. And so it's in the same building, but just to see all of these Black entrepreneurs in one building is absolutely beautiful. So I soak in all that energy every time I go there. But just to, and it's so cool because She said, "Girl, I went down to the old suite," and she texted me like, "Girl, no, we upstairs now." I said, "Ooh, I'm finna have to learn how to use this throwback because this it's in an older building, so it has the elevator with the chain with the gate." And I was like, "Okay, so I got to get out, I got to push the door." And oof, oh my goodness, with a bag! When I tell you I was sweating, the pixie was about to be. The pixie wasn't gonna make it to New York.
That's too funny.
I was like, "Ooh," but it was really a vibe. So when I think about self care, I'm intentional about what that looks like for myself, what makes me feel good, and looking good makes me feel good. Okay. And I hadn't had my
That's
eyebrows.
important. That's what
Yes.
real self-care is.
Okay.
'Cause you gotta remember the previous generation, it was, you know, you go back to our grandparents, they wasn't talking to they would get dressed up on Sunday,
That's it.
but it wasn't a day that it wasn't every day I heard my grandma say, "Oh, I look damn good today." You know what I'm saying? Like, that was never, like, in
Yeah.
there. And then my mama, she dressed up 5 days a week, but that was because she's white collar and, I just have to work. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
It wasn't that, "Oh, I'm pretty," but these
Yeah.
millennials, they'll tell you, "Damn, I'm pretty."
I look fine. I look
You look
good. I'm
good.
like,
Yeah,
I
yeah,
know. What?
yeah.
Okay, just brightens up my face. I was like, "Ooh," when she finished, I said, "Ooh, girl, it's been a oh, look at there." I said, no, exact words when she put the mirror in front of my face. I said, "She's back." I said, "Girl, I'm finna be in somebody's face at this airport."
Not gonna be in
Somebody's face.
somebody's face at the airport.
I said, "I'm finna be in somebody's face because
Did
they
you
need
did
to
you
see it."
were you in their face?
I was in everybody's face. "Hey, how
Uh-uh.
you doing?"
Uh-uh.
TSA. "How you doing? How you doing? Good to see you. How you doing?
Mm-mm.
Good morning." So yeah, but I believe in that self-care. I really, really do. Because I look at like I just said, my dad, he would save his vacation days for the summer. I don't even really know if he saved I can't really I feel like they did a shutdown for the plant around Christmas. I think that that's still a thing even to this day that they do a shutdown around Christmas. But my dad would save his vacation days for the summertime because we're out of school. We'll do a road trip somewhere. But other than that, it was like he wasn't denying overtime. Even, when I started work, he was like, you don't ever deny overtime. I'm like, well, what if I just want to
It
go
was get
home after
money
40
time.
hours? Yeah, he said, "No, he said, "'Cause once you deny it, you might not get it again. They might not offer it to you again." I said,
Mm.
okay, fine." So I learned that from him, but it was also what I had to unlearn from my parents and from my elders is that sometimes you gotta take some time for yourself.
Damn right.
You do. Use that PTO. Use that time. You see, I didn't went to listen, it's not even an easy travel day sometimes to get over to Chicago from Ben Harbor because small town and sometimes I don't like driving over there and I'll take the train. Listen, I went by train, plane, automobile to get there and back. I did. But it was worth it. It was worth it. But I also have to bake in all that time like, woof, it's a little bit more time when I'm going to and fro. But it's so worth it because
What do they say on Instagram about PTO?
prepare the others.
Yeah, prepare the others. I think that's pretty
Prepare the
cool.
others. Prepare
Prepare the
the
others
others.
because 'cause I'm not gonna be here.
I'm not gonna be there.
Prepare the others is
Prepare
PTO.
the others. Speaking of that, okay, since people at work knew that I was surprising Jeffrey, I got so nervous about the surprise. I said, "I don't know if he's on to me." Is that I logged back into Teams for work and sent them a message and I said, "In case Jeffrey's onto my scent." And he decides, because Jeffrey has popped up in my job before, and the joke was on him because I was working from home. Um, in case because he had called me while I was in the airport and I did not answer. Let's just start there. I
That
said,
was Thursday morning. Yeah.
out of all the damn days, so he calls me. So I said, "Oh yeah, I'm in an interactive webinar." Which I was in an interactive situation with a man that was trying to scam me right outside of the airport. This is another
But
story.
not a webinar. Using a scaminar.
It's exactly what was going on. Exactly. And I logged into Teams and I told them, "Hey, if Jeffrey calls the job," like there would be no reason for him to call, but still, I would try to cover all bases. So if Jeffrey calls the job, just tell him I'm in the number 2 bathroom because I work with all women and we have a number 2 bathroom. If you know what a number 2 is, we have number 2 bathroom on the other side of the building. So I said, just tell him I'm in the number 2 bathroom. So Denise, the melanated sister, she said, I'm gonna just tell him that you had back-to-back intakes. Okay. Then other teammate, Mary, said, well, why don't you just check in on Facebook and say that you're at work? And I'm like, I never do that. So it sounded like a good idea at first. Then I was like, ooh, I never do that. So maybe I shouldn't do that. So towards the end of the night, before Jeffrey and I recorded, I said, oh, I'm going home to take a nap and to be prepared to record this evening. I was already in New York, y'all. Already
And
there.
I seen that status and liked it too. I was like, man, she's lucky she's getting a nap before we record tonight.
Yeah. Surprise, surprise.
He's already at my house.
Surprise, surprise.
Yeah, that was crazy. Crazy.
Yeah. Good times. Good times at Richmond High.
And here I am. She think I didn't found out. And she thought, oh, he's on to me. I don't have a clue. I mean, boo boo the fool for real. Like not a clue. Like walk around the corner and see her and it's like, oh, you didn't move. That's the first thing I say. Oh, you didn't move. Yep. Now, you didn't move. I knew it. I knew it. Damn it, it was coming.
Been working hard.
Yeah.
So I do have a question for you, Jeffrey. What is the difference between self-care that restores you for the community and self-care that replaces the community? Or the other question I have is, what do we owe ourselves that our parents didn't give themselves? And what are we modeling for the kids watching when it comes to self-care? So you can answer either or.
Well, I answer the latter. I think it's important to have the balance. One, it's you showing your kids that you can chew gum and walk at the same time. Not trying to be funny towards my parents and grandparents' generation, but they strive to do one of those really, really well. You know? And a lot of times you could have a father that worked all of these hours but was terrible at home. You know, or you could have a mother that worked all these hours and was terrible with the kids. You know what I'm saying? And I don't want to get into the logistics of who plays what role because you can be an auntie and work all the time and don't have no kids and still you're terrible with being around your nieces and nephews. So I don't want to get to that. But what I will say is I think that what we've done is shown a little bit of balance. They introduced to us when we were kids this thing called multitasking, which we later found out that you really can't do more than one thing at once.
Trash. Yes.
However, we think, therefore, we're going to show you that we can do more than one thing at once. And that means we're going to work and we're going to play. You know, it was like the one thing when we were in our 20s, it was the generation before us, they wanted to run to the suburbs and get the driveway, out of the city. And then here was us as millennials, we wanted to work and play in the same area. We want to work downtown. We want to play downtown. We don't want to walk. Excuse me, we don't want to walk. We don't want to drive too many places. We want all of our space, right there. So we can enjoy it versus having to be all the way out in the burbs where you're separated and kind of like a little bit of cookie clutter. So, but yeah, that's how I would answer that.
That is a great way for us to go right into at the playground. Playground.
Oh, yeah. I should have really had it this week.
You should have.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
should have. I was just thinking, and I was like, we should have been practicing that ish.
Yeah,
All the music we listened to this weekend, and we didn't.
We could have practiced at Central Park.
We could have. Yeah. Goodness gracious. It's all right. The summer ain't over.
Yeah. Don't say that. Now every day I'm gonna be coming home looking around the corner to see if I can pick up any cent.
Is she here?
Any cent.
Is she here?
Yeah.
Jeffrey don't have my location, so that was another thing I was worried about. I said, okay, I knew on Lyft once upon a time. I know when we travel with We Cares, which is me, Demita, Tanisha, and Jeffrey. Sometimes I like to say Charlie and his Angels. Is that with Lyft, he would have my location, or it would ping him. It would send him a link, or a notification saying that, oh, Ronika's on the move, and I had to make sure that I wasn't in Lyft, and he didn't have the same notification on Uber. When I say again, I was trying to cross every T.
Technical.
I was.
Technical. I appreciate it too. That was definitely. If it was a movie, I'd have got. If it was a movie, I'd have got.
There's a very short video. It's about 14 seconds that I got of Jeffrey like, you got me.
Yeah.
You got me. Now that you got me.
And I can't wait to see this video.
Like, you got me.
You got me. I don't like it, but you got me.
I was thinking, what's taking him so damn long to come in here? I was like, I hear him. What's taking him so long? Goodness gracious, hit this corner, please. So the original video is 33 seconds, but it's so long for him to. I said, is he taking off his shoes? I'm over here like, But he said the dead giveaway is that Piper was hanging out with me. And then
Piper, I come in that door, and for all of you don't know, Piper is my dog. I come in that door, she's hitting around that corner. Like right now, she's actually like right here, right now, as I'm to the side. But she didn't hit that corner. When she didn't hit that corner, okay. All right, something's up. Okay, like what's going on? So I turn around the corner. Hey, all right, you got me.
It was you got me. That's a good one. So,
yeah, you look at that routine.
He's like, do something. Okay, you got me. That's a good one.
Yeah.
Yeah, gotcha. Whoa, that sounds. Whoa.
That's somebody.
Yeah.
That's somebody's father. All right. All right, you're slick now.
You got me. You got me, snake doctor. You got me.
Right. You got me.
Woo! So we're just gonna go through maybe 3 of these.
Okay.
Whew.
Want me to go first?
Yes.
All right. Who was the adult in your neighborhood who kept an eye on all the kids?
Oh my gosh. Well, there was multiple. But I'm gonna shout out the Lees. So the Lees actually stayed diagonal from us. So not directly across the street. They were the house that was next door to the house across the street. And shout out to the Lees, which is Courtney Lee's grandparents, Courtney Lee, PJ, and all of them. I was best friends with Courtney's cousin Brandon. And I was a latchkey kid, very young, because my parents both worked, had older siblings that were in extracurricular activities, and they were trying it out with I think I told y'all this story before. They're trying it out with what would it look like for me to just be at home by myself for about an hour. Well, Ronnika stuck that key into the doorknob, and a spider started to appear on this web, trickling down from that doorknob, and I got to screaming, and Miss Lee came outside and told me to come across the street, and I sat with her until my mama got home. Boy, was she mad. That was my last time for a long time. Sitting. So she had eyes. She said, I watched you from that window. And that's how she's always been. She would watch me from the window when I got off the bus. So she knew what every kid was doing in that neighborhood. She knew what was going on. Not only did the Gibsons who stayed next door, Mr. Daly, I'm telling you, my whole block was full of elders, retired, somebody grandma or even great grandma that had eyes and ears to everything. So I would say my whole little block, we honestly, we were the youngest family on our block. I was the only young kid on that small block, and that small block is like 6 houses. And so on the bottom end of the street, or as some of my friends growing up will say, you all stayed on the hill and we stayed down the hill. Because if you're riding your bike, it is kind of like it's a little slope. So the kids were on the second part of the block where the rest of the houses were. But yeah, in that little block, you couldn't get past none of them elders because them eyes was everywhere. Mr. Dana, Mr. Gilson, the Lees, the McConnells, Miss Long. Yeah,
He said they weren't
on it.
missing anything.
They wasn't missing a damn thing. Clearly, if I'm over here screaming about a spider and crying, she
They
said,
didn't
"If you
seen you. Come on. Come
just
on.
saying, just saying." Let's see. The neighborhood kid who was always outside, and what happened to them?
Neighborhood kid that was always outside. Okay, we can take it back to the project.
Mhm.
If I had to give somebody that was always outside was Tanisha Tyson. Yeah, yeah, actually my classmate.
No way.
That was always outside, but that's because her mom, Miss Tyson, rest in peace, Miss Tyson,
Mhm.
just passed
Mhm.
away within the last 2 weeks.
Yeah.
But she would always be like, "No, kids need to be outside." So she would, Tanisha would be outside, and I had female cousins. So then all of a sudden they make sure the females come outside. Then me and Rob and I, we would go outside. So it was a whole thing. It was next thing you know, it's like 15, 20 of us outside. So yep,
Wow.
that was good old River Terrace days. But Tanisha Tyson definitely was always outside. I remember she would sometimes go outside, like, before noon, but, Miss Tyson was a educator, so she was
Mhm.
like, "You need to get up. You don't need to be laying around in no bed all day." So,
Yeah.
that's one of those things, so,
That
yeah, I would
was
say Tanisha Tyson was the first person that popped in my head.
wow. So you've been knowing her for a long, 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 long time.
Oh, yeah, yeah. Yeah, we all grew up together. I've known Tanisha since I was, well, 9 9 years
Mm,
old. Yeah. Yep. Been
that's
a
so
long time.
cool.
Yeah.
I love me some Tanisha. We have this whole thing of um, because we even talked about her when I was in the beauty shop a couple weeks ago. This was right after her mom passed. And they was like, yeah, she used to do this and she used to do that. I said, I never had an interaction with her. Never, ever. I never had that like the interaction with, yeah, she used to do it. I didn't have that experience with her. We used to have this thing of, achoo, achoo, achoo. And it was like you spreading germs or just spreading shade. That was our thing. That
You
was
doing
our
Tanisha?
thing. Yes. Like, so even to this day, she'd be like, Ronnika, achoo,
Oh my goodness.
achoo. Like,
Hilarious.
that's our thing. So yeah, I love me some Tanisha. So I know you have people show up differently in different spaces, but I've never seen not towards me, the person where they're like, she didn't change a whole lot. She didn't change a whole lot, but she's always been the
Mm.
same with me. She's always been a sweet person to me. I always got the sweet Tanisha. I'm gonna say that. I always got the sweet. I knew it was somewhere down in there. But if you mess with her, listen,
No, she would get
she
on
will
you.
beat the brakes off of you.
Yeah, she should get on you.
I done seen it. She'll beat the brakes off
Mhm.
you, so don't mess with Tanisha. That's why I love me some Tanisha.
What's the games you play that no longer exist or that
Uh,
you don't know about? I got one, if you
I feel like the down by the river gonna hank you, but the hand games.
the hand games, yeah. Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah. The hand games are one. I was thinking red light, green light.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Okay.
We used to do that at the bus stop. I love
Okay.
red light, green light at the
Yes,
bus stop.
red light, green light.
Yeah.
I kinda still do that with, in my grief groups. Yeah, I do red light, green light with the
Okay.
kids.
Good.
Yeah, I
Good.
bring
Good.
that back like, "Oh, no, we're gonna do red light, green light, and as Simon Says."
Okay.
Yeah.
Alright. Yeah, Simon Says is, one, if you ain't paying attention and think you just
Yes.
trying to win, you gonna be shamed today,
Yep, yep,
you know?
yep. For
Alright.
shiggity, for sure. For shiggity, for sure. And then lastly, the elder at the family reunion who held all the stories and who they were and what they gave you.
Well, the elder at the that did that would be, my grandma, and only reason because of that is because, grandmas, you can't out-talk them. She was the matriarch of the family, so whatever story, it was God's word and God's will, and it had to be done because one, whenever that elder spoke, you didn't interrupt, because if you interrupt, not only could you get hit in your mouth by your own parent, but it could be a parent that somebody else that was across the room say, you ain't gonna out talk. Or if you say, well, that's not right. Oh, so you calling them a lie?
Mhm,
You
mhm,
always have
mhm.
to go with the lie. And
Yeah,
then, so yeah, yeah, that was the one. That's the one person.
that's the one son. That's the one Daniel's son. Yes, that is, yeah. Woo! Speaking of that, that's how you run right into not a brick wall, but we call it foolishness files.
Let's do it.
Let's mother
Let's do
blucking
it.
do it. Okay. Mm. The family cookout dish that someone brings every year that nobody asks for and nobody eats.
Um, we really don't have that in our family.
Same.
Yeah, I really don't have that in our family because if you don't
Yes.
know how to cook, you just don't mention it. You
Yes.
don't mention that you're gonna do anything but bring something that can be bought at the store.
Mhm. Mhm.
Plates,
Mhm.
silverware, soda, ice, liquor. Those
Mhm.
things can be bought at the store and don't need none of your ingredients. Oh,
Yes.
no, we don't have any dishes like
We
that. I remember, like, when I was younger, so when the previous generation was still around, my grandma and then, like, my grandma's kids, I ain't gonna call nobody out. 'Cause, my grandma's kids would bring over their significant others or who could be my aunt or uncle today, and
Mhm.
they would cook, and sometimes you would eat their food because you was like my grandma be big on it. She was like, "Well, I don't know what she cooked. I don't know what she's not clean enough for me." That's the old people tell you that,
Wait.
you don't have time to waste food,
Mm-mm.
and we're not gonna do that. So,
At all.
yeah, and then my grandma would actually call them the night before and say, "You don't have to bring anything." Honey, whatever you was gonna bring, I already got it. You know how many times I've heard that the night before? Honey, whatever you was gonna bring, I already got it. You ain't gotta bring nothing, just bring yourself. And that
That
makes
just for yourself is enough.
look, and that just makes some people be like, "You know what? I was nervous anyway, so I
Yes.
feel good. I'm great." And
Yes.
realistically, they like, "Well, we didn't want to just leave your stuff sitting on the stove covered up in that foil
Pretty
and then
much.
send it back home with you."
Listen. Listen. My grandma said, if you ain't got nothing good to bring, you better bring some paper products.
Bring something, but don't bring no food.
She said she said, or as my dad say, everybody can use a little shit paper. So you better take some that also is in the paper product. So
Mhm.
family. I said, oh, okay. Well, I mean I could do that too. Make sure it ain't the cheap stuff, but just saying. Okay.
Since we were talking about self-care earlier, what's a self-care practice that you tried, that was wildly ineffective or ridiculous?
Here's the funny thing that I wanted you to ask me that. Wildly ineffective. And I know y'all gonna get me, but I am loyal. Like when something feels good and something like I'm like, I'm gonna rock with this until they move away or they go out of business. When I was in a relationship in Texas, we decided to do massage envy. Um the monthly subscription. I was wildly ineffective because our money was just coming out of that account, but we weren't going to get the massages. Like, I just wasn't. Isn't that crazy? Like, why wouldn't you just factor in that time for an hour massage? But I was like, oh my gosh, it's all the way on the other side of town. Like, we didn't even factor that in. So it wasn't effective for me. So even when I think about now, when people are like, oh yeah, I schedule an hour massage at least one biweekly. I'm like, man, that sounds great until it didn't. So yeah, that's why I got a massage gun.
I don't know if you noticed when you were here. I got a few massage guns
I
actually.
do?
I,
Oh.
I've they're almost like massage guns for guys are like video games. Like when you see them, you're like, oh man, I can do so much with this, and then you buy it, and then it sits. But anyway, I do believe in the massage once a month.
Really?
Did it for, I think I did it for 8 or 9 months in a row. Best 8 or 9 months.
Oh.
Yeah, once a month you can definitely. I think the last one that I went to get was this past April, and I needed it. I needed it. Like, it's nothing wrong with somebody yanking and pulling on you. Because a lot of times when you're doing it, it's like you're throwing it out of whack. They're massaging it as much as needed. It's a little bit different than you. You like, oh man, well I just, I would.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, you damn near just rip your damn shoulder off. You know what I'm saying? No, they take it and it's their job and it's important. I'm telling you. I
Wow.
would challenge you 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. So 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So the next 5 months, I'll even put you onto a person to a location that's there. My mom used to do it, and she used to do it every 2 weeks, actually, or maybe even once a week. She would go to, like, the chiropractor because she was having, when you get older, you get the, degenerative hips, and now she
Mhm.
had, what was that, when you're walking sideways a little bit, it's,
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I
yeah,
remember.
her, sciatic nerve. So you gotta have that touched. You know what I'm saying? Because it feels as if, needles are shooting down your leg when you walk, and so she would go, and the place is still open. I will definitely share, the place because I actually went shortly after she passed away. I went to get a massage just to thank the people that had been
Mm.
going. She had been going there for maybe 10 years. Uh,
Yeah.
I went there just to thank them, but they were like, "No, we're gonna have you actually come in," and the lady actually gave me a hell of a massage. Yep, sure did.
Okay. So you all, when I was in New York, I caught a Charlie horse in both legs.
It'll do it.
Both. When I say I just laid there straight, stiff as a board, just wanted to cry. I said, "What is happening to me?" Jesus! That's why I was like, that's why I kept yelling, "Jesus, Jesus, Jesus, please help, help, please, please, this is crazy. What is going on?" So, okay, so,
So it's
all right.
not ridiculous and it's not ineffective, I
It
think
was
because
for
you didn't
me.
follow through,
Yeah.
but, yeah, definitely. It massages and, here in New York, they have these little massage parlors you can go to. Like,
Mhm.
it's not even like you going to the same person all the time, so.
All right, my last question. No, that's why Imma end it there. Cause what?
Okay.
'Cause
It was
what?
look, you
Got it.
look, that's 'cause of that massage that threw you off, I'm
Yeah,
telling you.
I was like,
Look
"Okay."
look, one time I was in New Orleans, this is before I moved to New York, y'all, and New York is a lot of walking, so I had to get used to that, but before that, I went to New Orleans maybe like 12 years ago, 13 years ago, and I promise you, it was the first time I went with somebody that had never been to New Orleans, and they walked my ass throughout New Orleans because they just wanted to see so much. Now, mind you, New Orleans downtown ain't really that big, you know? but they wanted to see all of it, every cobblestone step. Right, so at the end of the night, I was like, they have those massagers where they massage your feet. Best massage I ever had on my feet before. So I've even had the feet massages. So I recommend massages, hands down. Yep. You got to get them. Put somebody else's hands on your body.
My body all over you. Okay, I got it. Okay.
Put somebody else's hands on your body.
I got it. I got it. Okay. You all, we have arrived at rapid fire.
Phew. You lucky that I didn't have my pistol the other day when I came in the house. There have been some rapid fire.
Well, just saying. You wouldn't have gone for Piper because Piper wasn't even barking. So Piper knew that it was a familiar person.
No, that means she's a hostage.
Oh my gosh. Okay.
She's a hostage.
Hi, Piper. Hi. Somebody missed me. Hi. Okay.
Cool with the
That's
scoop.
all. Y'all, okay. I promise the next recording the stack gonna be gone because I do need to shred. Anyways, because that Zoom camera be like, whoop. Okay. Anyways.
Pick up everything.
Here we are. It's like, I just wanted to not. All right. You want to start it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Were you outside as a kid from sun up to sundown, or were you a homebody?
Listen, people in the neighborhood, again, going back to the Lees, they know my household nickname from my family yelling down that street.
Okay.
Nick, you need to come in this house. So to this day, the Lees be like, what up, Nick? I'm like,
that is hilarious.
Oh yeah, sun up to sundown. I don't even know when I was eating. Maybe I was coming in, probably grabbing a piece of chicken or a pork chop or something. I don't know if I was taking a breather. We was using the bathroom in each other's house. We was drinking from the water hose. I was sun up to sundown outside. Smelling like the good outside.
Yeah.
Okay. Family reunion. Yes, your family does them. No, they don't, or they used to.
We haven't had one like specifically for like my grandmother's branch, grandfather branch since 2019, actually. Now that I think about it, years just go by. The last person to organize it was my mom, and then she passed in 2020.
Wow.
Since then, we've only got together like for funerals. And so we had the 2020 funeral, and we had the 2022 funeral. So yeah, time has really got away from us. I look down now, it says 26. Jeez.
Yes.
But we try to do that family trip every Thanksgiving. So I don't want to say that's right. A family reunion, but we do try to get together every Thanksgiving. Like this year we're supposed to do a cruise. So yep.
Speaking of, can you tell Danita that we miss her? Where's she been at in the
Yeah, I will. Yeah, I will. Because I haven't seen she actually posted a picture on Facebook of her on the Black College tour in '98. So I was like, I remember that school bus because I was on there. That was actually that trip is what made, believe it or not, my cousin and I was not close until that. We were not close at all. Yeah. And we're less than a year and a half apart. Living next door to each other, but we were not close. We were like arch enemies, but we didn't waste the crisis. I tell you that.
Yeah, I'm like, I ain't seen my girl clowning in the comments in a minute. I know that she's had some life changes, like good life changes. Like I remember her being baptized and everything. So I'm just like, yeah, but where my girl at? I want to see her clowning. Okay, I think it's on you.
All right, what's the non-negotiable cookout dish? The one that has to be present.
The dish? I was gonna go with more of a meat.
Well, that's a dish.
Okay. I mean, because some people be like, no, that's a meat. That ain't a side. They be like side dishes. Okay, main dish. Okay.
See, there you go. See, them family people just know every damn
I
thing.
know. Sorry. Listen. A burnt Polish gotta be in the mix.
Wow. Wow. Not a
It's got
burnt
to.
Polish.
It's gotta be a little burnt. You know, for my family, they'd be like, "Oh, brats are Polish," but yeah, they gotta. Yeah, hot
They gotta
dog
have some
too.
sizzle
Great.
to them.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah. You don't nothing gray.
Not at all. Not at all. Not at all. Okay. Therapy, journaling, long walks, or sleep. What is your actual self care?
Woo! I'm gonna say when I was younger, it used to be journaling. But I'm gonna go with this whole sleep thing.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah.
I really like to sleep. Yeah, I was gonna say we were supposed to record today, and here I was. You called me like, I'm ready, and I'm
Okay.
like,
And
like,
I'm usually the one that he's calling like, hey, just checking in.
give me 15
And
minutes.
I knew that I had to FaceTime on this one. I was like, okay. I texted him like, I'm up, and I ain't getting no response. I said, okay.
When I saw the FaceTime, I was like, well, you can't deny it.
Mm,
You can't deny it, so just show her where you at and get your
just
ass up.
saying. No. So I got to put the studio back together because
Yeah, yeah,
who took it apart?
yeah. So it's a whole thing. So production crews be right
Right?
right with you.
We'll be right back. Doo-doo. Just saying. Okay. Oh, it's on you.
All right, what's something that you want to pass down that was passed to you?
Storytelling. Yeah. My family, they're some hell of storytellers, I tell you. So, asking the right questions, and I mean, I had a little piece of that when I worked at the Boys and Girls Club. I was able to work with those young people and asking elders that were coming back for the Welcome Home Ben Harbor activities that they would do. I feel like they did that. I don't know if it was every year or every two, but really working with those young people of effective communication. So, yeah, it would definitely be storytelling. All right. Kids today in one word: be kind, but be honest.
Groupies.
Oh,
Yeah, yeah, groupies.
uh,
No, I work with
that's a
you.
good one.
So
That's a
and what
good
I
one.
mean by groupies is not from our standpoint, I think like from what we kind of define them, but they run in packs.
Mm.
Everybody's running packs and not really a lot of leadership. So
Ooh,
they're
that's
groupies.
a good one.
So,
That's
a lot of times you can get things done in a group, but that don't mean that you really have a leader, you know?
mm-hmm.
So, yeah, groupie.
It's true.
Yeah. What's the game from your outdoor childhood that needs to make a comeback?
Double Dutch.
Aha. Yeah, that was a good one. That was a good cardio.
Double Dutch.
Yeah, 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 that was a good one. I remember seeing, like, my mama and her sisters doing double dutch, and they were grown. Like,
Mm-hmm.
"What is
Yes.
going on? What is
Yes.
this thing?
Yes.
Y'all play these games?"
Yes. Like,
Right,
what about me? And it's my turn. It's like, okay, who first? I'm first. Who's second? Who's second? Yeah.
right.
That needs to come back. Um, one thing this summer has reminded you about what community actually means. That's actually a good one.
That's a good one.
Mhm.
Community means showing up. And, I can't describe it any more than what Ronnika did. She showed up, and so, that's the one thing for me, that's reminded me of summer, just
Mm.
showing up when you're most needed.
Mic drop.
Hello.
That's how you end a rapid mother blucking fire, okay?
Yes,
That's
ma'am.
what you gotta do on your do. Okay. So you all, thank you for rocking with us. I feel like our sweet spot is between the hour 10 hour 20 mark, and that's where we've landed. So
Mhm.
almost, it's cool. It's great. Um, but we talked about some of everything. We talked about showing up. Like my big thing is showing up. I know people will say, uh, excuse me, they'll say, why didn't you be somewhere everywhere? No, I like showing up for my people. I'm gonna listen. If I'm able to, I'm gonna show up. If there's a possibility to do a surprise, I'm gonna do that too. Because I am really big on you all is that curating an experience. So even when I get my friends together, I'm trying to make sure it is a vibe. Like if I know that, and this is just me being fully transparent. If I know somebody, one person is gonna come into that mix and throw it off, I'm not inviting them. I'm just not. I'm just not going. If I just feel like they are going to, their mood is just going to spoil the whole weekend. No, you and I need one on one because I need to figure out why are you coming into these environments and just totally messing it up. So I'm really about curating experience and creating memories. So I feel like that we did that this weekend.
I agree. I agree. I agree. I agree. Ah, you don't believe me. Boy,
Yes.
to be
Yeah.
stunned is to be shunned.
Mm-hmm. Because I think the last time we did a surprise was for Demita's 40th. So
Correct.
yeah, and
Correct.
I love a good surprise.
I
And that
would
one about stressed us the F out. All of us. Thank goodness again. Thank God for Jeffrey being the one that was, I don't think you had took I don't know if all of us were in flight except for Jeffrey. So Jeffrey was able to respond when Demita was like in the group chat texting. I said, woo, because if Jeffrey didn't say nothing, she'd probably like, listen, what is going on? Everybody going to voicemail. And that was before. Woo,
APB.
it was bad. So yes, just show up, listen to your people, listen to when they're saying certain things, pick up on it, really be intentional in your conversations, and just if you're able to, show up, Jeffrey, because that's a part of self care too. It makes you feel good, and you're making somebody else feel good too. All right, Jeffrey, where can the good people find you? A mess.
Treat it like it's a auction. Look at
Yeah,
people around me.
a mess.
So, you can find us on the If You Know, You Know Late Night Show on Thursdays at 10:15 p.m. on Facebook, or you can catch the repeat of the episode on YouTube. Just type in If You Know, You Know Late Night Show, and it'll pop up. Before we had our little back group drop for it, but now we actually have our faces. I put it on there.
I have to
Just
go
changed it
look.
up a little bit. And you can also reach me at Mr. Fantastic at MrFantastic World WORLD. You can find me on Facebook. You can find me on X, and you can find me on. I'm on TikTok. I'm on TikTok. I'm on TikTok. So, but I'm delayed on TikTok. So preferably Instagram still. So,
Yes.
have a great day.
Ronnika RONNIKA.Williams on Instagram and Threads because I didn't gave X the boot. And then you can find Rodnika Williams on Facebook. And that's how you can also see episodes within the last 30 days of so really like 4 episodes. If you go through our social media on Facebook or you go through our feed on Facebook, you're able to see the If You Know, You Know Late Night Show, which again, this last one was epic because we were live and in person. Okay. So we need to really do more of those.
Yeah, yeah,
Clearly,
yeah.
the
I'm in.
people love it.
I'm
The
in.
people love it. And there was also a suggestion from someone too. It's like, hey, if you are able to, y'all need to meet up and do these in like other places. So stay tuned. Stay tuned. And then please do tell podcast if you are watching us on YouTube. Hello there. You can see all of our facial expressions. But if you are listening to us, that's good too. And we are wherever you consume your podcast, which is Apple Podcast, Spotify. But you can just put us in Google. Please do tell podcasts and share with the homie. We love when you all subscribe and when you share with someone, then when you leave a review, and even when you leave comments. It helps other people find the podcast. So be sure to share with a homie, and get these stories because we're going to keep giving them to you. Okay. Jeffrey, do you have anything else for us this week?
Thank y'all. Thank y'all. Thank you. Thank you for listening. Thank you for being a part of it. And thank you for being quiet for the surprise because I really like the surprise.
So until next time, I'm your homegirl, Ronnika, and I'm here with
Jeffrey.
And we'll